stay comfortable or become unbreakable. A Stoic's challenge. Most men believe comfort is something you earn. Work hard enough. Carry enough responsibility. Push yourself long enough. Then you've earned the right to choose the easier path. It sounds reasonable. It sounds harmless. Marcus Aurelius saw something far more dangerous. He understood that comfort is never the problem. The problem begins the moment comfort starts making your decisions. No man wakes up one morning and chooses weakness. No one decides to become undisciplined. No one plans to lose confidence in himself. It happens quietly. One alarm you choose to ignore. One workout you promise to do tomorrow. One difficult conversation you decide can wait another day. One promise you break because no one else will know. Each decision feels insignificant. Each excuse sounds reasonable. That is why comfort is so dangerous. It never asks you to ruin your life all at once. It only asks you to make today's decision a little easier than yesterday's. Then it asks again tomorrow, and again the day after that. Until one day you look at your life and realize something uncomfortable. You didn't choose this version of yourself. You slowly became him. The Stoics understood a truth that most people never stop to consider. Every decision you make is casting a vote, not for your future, for your identity. Every action quietly answers one question. Who am I becoming? The answer is never found in your intentions. It is found in your habits. A man who repeatedly chooses discipline becomes disciplined. A man who repeatedly chooses courage becomes courageous. A man who repeatedly chooses comfort eventually becomes comfortable. And those are not temporary behaviors. They become identity. That is why Marcus Aurelius never focused on extraordinary moments of greatness. He focused on ordinary moments of choice, because extraordinary character is built from ordinary decisions repeated thousands of times. Seneca reaches the same conclusion in Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, chapter 3. He teaches that wisdom is not created by occasional acts of greatness, but by the daily discipline of governing yourself. Every choice either strengthens your character or quietly weakens it, even when no one else notices. Think about your last 24 hours. How many decisions were made because they reflected the man you wanted to become? And how many were made simply because they felt easier? That single question has the power to change an entire life, because every easy decision trains your mind to seek another easy decision. Every difficult decision trains your character to become stronger than your circumstances. Today, you'll discover why comfort is life's greatest invisible test, and why the strongest men are rarely those who avoid difficulty. They are the men who refuse to let comfort decide who they become. Choice 1. Comfort makes decisions for you. The first choice that separates an ordinary man from an unbreakable one is rarely dramatic. It happens quietly, long before anyone else notices, long before success or failure becomes visible. It happens the moment comfort begins making decisions on your behalf. The problem is not enjoying comfort. Rest has its place. Recovery has its purpose. Even the Stoics understood that the body and mind need moments of restoration. The danger begins when comfort stops being something you choose and becomes the voice that chooses for you. It whispers simple phrases that sound perfectly reasonable. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired today. I'll do it when I feel ready. This isn't the right time. None of those sentences sound destructive. That is exactly why they are so powerful. Comfort never asks you to destroy your future. It only asks you to postpone your growth one more time. Then one more time after that. Soon, delay becomes routine. Routine becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. Most men believe they are making independent decisions. In reality, They are repeating the same comfortable patterns their mind has learned to protect. The brain is designed to conserve energy. It naturally prefers what is familiar over what is difficult. If you never challenge that instinct, comfort quietly becomes your leader. Marcus Aurelius refused to allow temporary feelings to decide permanent actions. He understood that reason must always remain above impulse. Every morning presented him with the same invisible choice that faces every man today. Follow comfort or follow character. Seneca reinforces this lesson in Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, chapter 3. He teaches that the man who governs himself does not wait for the perfect mood before doing what is right. Wisdom begins when your principles become stronger than your preferences. Think about the decisions you make when nobody is watching. Do you choose what builds your future or what protects today's comfort? Because those moments reveal your true direction far more accurately than your ambitions ever will. Every easy decision strengthens the habit of choosing ease. Every difficult decision strengthens the habit of becoming stronger. Your life is shaped long before the results appear. It is shaped by the invisible choices you repeat every single day. Remember this. Every comfortable decision teaches your brain what kind of man you are. Your identity is listening to every choice you make. And if comfort has the power to reshape your identity, what quietly destroys something even more valuable? Your confidence in yourself? Choice 2. You stop trusting yourself. The second choice is invisible. No one else can see it happening. There are no headlines, no dramatic failures, no public embarrassment. Yet it quietly destroys something every strong man depends on: trust in himself. Most people believe confidence comes from success. They think confidence grows after enough victories, after enough experience, after enough praise from other people. Marcus Aurelius understood something very different. Confidence is not built by what happens to you. It is built by the promises you keep to yourself. Every time you tell yourself you'll wake up early, and you don't, your mind notices. Every time you promise you'll train, and you choose the couch instead, your mind notices. Every time you say you'll have the difficult conversation and postpone it for another week, your mind notices. You may forget those moments. Your identity never does. Each broken promise leaves behind something almost invisible. A little more hesitation, a little more doubt, a little less belief in your own word. Eventually, the problem is no longer discipline. The problem is that your own mind no longer believes you. Think about that for a moment. What happens when the only person who no longer trusts you is you? The emotionally weak man waits for motivation before taking action. The Stoic understands that action creates belief. Every promise you keep becomes evidence. Evidence that you can rely on yourself. Evidence that your word has value. Evidence that your future actions deserve your own confidence. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that integrity begins where excuses end. A man's character is revealed not by what he intends to do, but by what he repeatedly chooses to do when no one is watching. Seneca teaches the same lesson in Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, chapter 3. He explains that wisdom requires consistency between what we know is right and what we actually practice. The man who repeatedly betrays his own principles slowly becomes divided against himself. His greatest obstacle is no longer the world around him. It is the growing distance between his intentions and his actions. That is why keeping a promise to yourself is never a small victory. It is an act of self-respect. Every promise you keep strengthens the relationship between your present self and the man you are becoming. Every promise you break weakens that relationship, slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, until one day you stop asking, "Can I do this?" and you begin asking, "Will I actually do what I say?" That question determines far more than confidence. It determines your identity. Remember this: every broken promise is a vote against your own identity. The remarkable truth is that rebuilding confidence does not require one extraordinary achievement. It begins with one small promise, kept today. Because once you begin trusting yourself again, something extraordinary happens. Difficulty stops looking like an enemy. It becomes your greatest teacher. Choice 3. Difficulty becomes your greatest teacher. The third choice is the one most men spend their entire lives trying to avoid. Difficulty. We have been taught to believe that a good life is a comfortable life, a life with fewer problems, fewer obstacles, less uncertainty, less pain. The Stoics believed something radically different. They never looked at difficulty as punishment. They saw it as education. Every difficult experience teaches something that comfort never can. The gym teaches discipline. Cold mornings teach commitment. Failure teaches humility. Loss teaches gratitude. Hard conversations teach courage. Pressure teaches character. Comfort teaches none of those things. Comfort only teaches you how to remain comfortable. Think about the strongest people you have ever admired. Not the richest, not the most famous, the strongest. How did they become that way? Was it because life protected them from hardship? Or because hardship demanded qualities they never knew they possessed? Strength is almost never discovered during easy seasons. It is revealed when life removes everything that made you feel secure. Marcus Aurelius never prayed for a life without challenges. He understood that every obstacle presented an opportunity to practice reason, patience, and self-control. Every hardship became another chance to strengthen the only thing that truly belonged to him, his character. Seneca expresses the same idea in Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, chapter 3. He reminds Lucilius that wisdom is not formed in moments of comfort, but in the disciplined response to adversity. A man who never faces resistance never discovers the limits of his own strength. Difficulty does not create virtue by itself. It simply gives virtue the opportunity to appear. This is where many men make a costly mistake. They spend years asking, "Why is this happening to me?" The Stoic asks a different question. "What is this trying to teach me?" That single change transforms every obstacle. Failure becomes instruction. Rejection becomes perspective. Pressure becomes preparation. Discomfort becomes training. Nothing is wasted. Every challenge leaves behind something invisible. Not money, not status, capability. The confidence that comes from knowing you have already survived difficult days before. The certainty that your character is becoming stronger than your circumstances. That is why emotionally resilient men stop fearing discomfort. They begin respecting it. Not because suffering is noble, not because pain should be pursued, but because they understand a truth that comfort can never offer. Growth always asks for something before it gives anything back. Remember this: comfort protects today's feelings. Difficulty builds tomorrow's character. The man who constantly escapes discomfort slowly becomes dependent on comfort. The man who willingly embraces necessary difficulty becomes independent of circumstance. And when that transformation begins, something remarkable happens. You stop seeking approval from the world. You begin earning something far more valuable: your own respect. Choice 4. You build a reputation with yourself. The fourth choice has nothing to do with the reputation you build in the eyes of other people. It has everything to do with the reputation you build in your own mind. Most men spend years worrying about how they are perceived. They want to be respected, admired, trusted, successful. Yet they ignore the one opinion that quietly shapes every decision they make: their own. Every action you take becomes evidence. Evidence that you are reliable, or evidence that you are not. Your mind is constantly collecting proof. When you keep your word, it remembers. When you choose discipline over excuses, it remembers. When you remain calm under pressure, it remembers. When you do what is difficult simply because it is the right thing to do, it remembers. Those moments are never wasted. They become the foundation of the relationship you have with yourself. Most people think self-respect comes from achievements. The Stoics believed it comes from consistency. Marcus Aurelius never tried to convince the world that he was a man of character. He understood that character is not something you announce. It is something you quietly prove through repeated action. Every decision either strengthened the man he wanted to become or weakened him. There was no neutral choice. Seneca reaches the same conclusion in Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, chapter 3. He teaches that a wise man lives in such a way that he never needs to hide from his own conscience. The greatest reward of integrity is not public admiration. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your actions and your principles are no longer in conflict. Think about someone you trust completely. Why do you trust them? It is rarely because of one extraordinary moment. It is because they have been consistent. Again, and again, and again. Trust is never built by a single promise. It is built by promises repeatedly kept. The same is true for the relationship you have with yourself. Every disciplined decision tells your mind, I can rely on this man. Every excuse whispers the opposite. That is why self-confidence is never created by positive thinking alone. It is earned, one decision at a time. Eventually, something changes. You no longer need motivation to do what is right. You no longer negotiate with yourself. You no longer wait until you feel ready. Your actions begin reflecting the reputation you have built inside your own mind, and that reputation becomes one of your greatest sources of strength. Remember this: your identity is watching every decision you make. Every choice becomes another piece of evidence. Every action becomes another vote. Every promise kept becomes another reason to trust yourself. There is only one final choice left. It is the choice that separates disciplined men from truly unbreakable men. Choice 5. Become the man who chooses hard. The fifth choice is the one that changes everything. It is not a decision you make once. It is a decision you make every single day. Every morning, every conversation, every promise, every temptation, every challenge asks the same question. Will you choose what feels easier? Or will you choose the man you want to become? Most people spend their lives waiting to feel motivated. They believe discipline appears after inspiration, after confidence, after the perfect moment arrives. The Stoics never waited. They understood that waiting for the right feeling gives your emotions authority over your character. The unbreakable man lives differently. He does not ask himself whether he feels like doing what is necessary. He asks whether it is the right thing to do. Once that question is answered, the decision is already made. This is where identity replaces motivation. Motivation changes with your mood. Identity remains the same regardless of your mood. That is why difficult choices slowly stop feeling difficult. Not because life becomes easier, because the man making those choices has changed. Think about someone who has trained for years. Waking up early no longer feels extraordinary. Keeping promises no longer feels heroic. Choosing discipline no longer requires constant inner negotiation. Those actions have become part of who he is. The strongest men are not constantly fighting themselves. They simply stopped arguing with the standards they chose to live by. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than anyone. He did not build resilience through grand gestures. He built it through thousands of ordinary moments, where reason quietly defeated comfort. Every disciplined decision strengthened the next one, until virtue became his natural response rather than an occasional effort. Seneca echoes this idea in Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, chapter 3. He teaches that true wisdom is revealed when right action becomes habitual rather than exceptional. The man who repeatedly chooses virtue no longer depends on willpower alone. His character begins carrying him where motivation never could. This is the challenge every man eventually faces. Not whether he is capable, but whether he is willing. Willing to choose discipline when nobody is watching. Willing to keep his word when breaking it would be easier. Willing to face discomfort instead of negotiating with it. Those moments seem ordinary. They are anything but ordinary. They are the moments that quietly decide the direction of an entire life. Remember this. Ordinary men choose what feels easier. Unbreakable men choose who they want to become. That is why becoming unbreakable is never about one extraordinary act of courage. It is about making the harder choice so many times that it no longer feels like the harder choice. It simply becomes who you are. Imagine two men standing in front of the exact same decision. Both are tired. Both feel fear. Both want the easier path. Both know exactly what they should do. One asks himself, what feels comfortable? The other asks, who do I become if I choose this? That single question slowly creates two completely different lives. The first man chooses comfort. Not once, but repeatedly. He postpones difficult conversations. He breaks small promises to himself. He avoids situations that demand courage. Every decision feels insignificant. Until one day, he realizes that the life he wanted never arrived. Not because he lacked talent. Not because he lacked opportunity. Because comfort quietly became the architect of his character. The second man experiences the same fears, the same doubts, the same uncomfortable mornings, the same temptation to choose the easier path. The difference is that he refuses to let temporary feelings decide permanent actions. Every difficult decision becomes another vote, not for success, not for money, not for status, for the man he is becoming. Marcus Aurelius never tried to build a comfortable life. He built a character that no longer depended on comfort. He understood that life would never stop presenting obstacles. The only question was whether those obstacles would shape him, or whether he would shape himself through them. Seneca leaves us with the same lesson in Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, chapter 3. He teaches that wisdom is not measured by what we know, but by what we repeatedly practice. A disciplined life is not created by extraordinary moments of inspiration. It is created when our daily actions become faithful to our principles, even when no one is watching. Think about everything you've heard today. The easier decision always promises immediate relief. The harder decision quietly offers something far greater. Self-respect, confidence, discipline, resilience, character. Those rewards never arrive instantly. They arrive after hundreds of invisible victories that no one else will ever see. One day, people may look at you and say you are mentally strong. They may call you disciplined, focused, resilient, unbreakable. They will assume you were born different. They will never see the mornings you got up when every part of you wanted to stay in bed. The conversations you refused to avoid. The promises you kept when breaking them would have been easier. The fears you faced without anyone applauding. The countless moments when comfort invited you to stop, and you quietly kept moving forward. Those were the moments that built your character. Not because they changed your circumstances, because they changed you. Remember this, becoming unbreakable is never one extraordinary decision. It is thousands of ordinary decisions, made long before the world notices the man you have become. Every choice is casting a vote. Every action is shaping your identity. Every difficult decision is strengthening a character that comfort can never build. So the next time life places an easy path in front of you, pause. Ask yourself one simple question. Am I choosing what feels comfortable? Or am I choosing the man I want to become? That answer will shape your future far more than talent, luck, or circumstances ever will. If this lesson challenged the way you think, subscribe to the Discipline Code and join thousands of men who are building discipline, resilience, and unbreakable character through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Because the strongest man is not the one who lives the easiest life. It is the one who never allows comfort to decide who he becomes.